Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge that I'm currently seated on the land of the Musqueam, the Tsleil-Waututh, and the Squamish nations. I know that many of you are on the land of other nations, so if you'd like, please feel free to write those nation names in the chat. Always let us remember our connection to our siblings in these nations and pray for the day in which we might be together in right relationship. So welcome. Welcome to Living Interfaith. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own home. Please bring who you are in with you to this community today. But what you are asked to remember is that the others here today have brought who they are into this community with them as well. And all of goodwill are welcome. And now I'll turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for our opening song. Thank you. It always warms my heart to hear that song every morning. So I have a few interfaith announcements for us. First of all, I'm very excited to share that starting next Saturday, we'll be offering something on the second and fourth Saturdays of each month called the Circle of Sanctuary. So next week, Doralee and I, who are now the co-assistant interfaith leaders, will be facilitating the circle together. And after that, we'll be taking turns. These circles will be a time for us to come together and deepen some part of what we've learned during the service. It'll involve a mixture of contemplation and discussion, and I hope that you can join us. So we're very excited. And then next Sunday, May 25th, from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., there's going to be an interfaith water ceremony at Weyowitchin, which is also known as Kate's Park in North Vancouver. This is the second annual Interfaith Water Ceremony, and it's organized by the Tsleil-Waututh Nation Sacred Trust and Sierra Club BC. Doralee is going to be representing the Interfaith Sanctuary at this event and speaking there. And this is an effort to renew our commitment to the air, lands, and waters affected by the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. So you can learn more or register at the link I just put in the chat. And then from Tuesday, May 27th to Thursday, May 29th, the Vancouver School of Theology is having its annual interreligious conference. And this year, the theme is compassion, mutual care in troubled times. So very timely. This is both on Zoom and in person at the school on the UBC campus. And the cost for the full conference is $90 to $190. But there is financial aid available for those who need it. And the keynote lecture by political scientist Dr. Terry Elizabeth Givens is on Tuesday, May 27th from 7 to 8:30, and that is free. So you can learn more or register at the link I just put in the chat. And then finally, Rabbi Laura Duhan Kaplan and Reverend Elder John Snow of the Stoney Nakoda Nation are teaming up with Dr. Shelley Luce from the Sierra Club. And they're going to offer a series called Song of the Land, Ancient Jewish Wisdom for Our Times. So this series is free, and it's going to be held on Thursday evenings from 4 to 5 p.m. on Zoom between June 5th and 26th. And it will end with a meeting in person on Sunday, July 20th at Stanley Park at 11 a.m. So each meeting is going to explore a unique being that we're in relationship with, the raven, the river, the rains, the bear, and the forest. So I am excited about it and hoping to attend at least some of them. And to RSVP, you're going to email the address I just put in the chat. And all of these events are in our newsletter as well. Are there any other announcements today? Okay. If not, I'll move into our opening prayer. Today we're celebrating the Buddha Day, and behind me, this picture is actually from the Buddha's birthplace in Lumbini in Nepal. I had the fortune to visit there. I guess it was 2018. So this is the ancient pool in the Mahadevi temple where he was said to be born. So I'm going to start with a love letter to the earth by Thich Nhat Hanh. Dear Mother Earth, I bow my head before you as I look deeply and recognize that you are present in me and that I'm a part of you. I was born from you and you are always present, offering me everything I need for my nourishment and growth. My mother, my father, and all my ancestors are also your children. We breathe your fresh air. We drink your clear water. We eat your nourishing food. Your herbs heal us when we're sick. You are the mother of all beings. I call you by the human name Mother, and yet I know your mothering nature is more vast and ancient than humankind. We are just one young species of your many children. All the millions of other species who live or have lived on Earth are also your children. You aren't a person, but I know you are not less than a person either. You are a living, breathing being in the form of a planet. Each species has its own language, yet as our mother, you can understand us all. That is why you can hear me today as I open my heart to you and offer you my prayer. Dear Mother, wherever there is soil, water, rock, or air, you are there, nourishing me and giving me life. You are present in every cell of my body. My physical body is your physical body. And just as the sun and stars are present in you, they are also present in me. You are not outside of me, and I'm not outside of you. You are more than just my environment. You are nothing less than myself. I promise to keep the awareness alive that you are always in me, and I'm always in you. I promise to be aware that your health and well-being is my own health and well-being. I know I need to keep this awareness alive in me for us both to be peaceful, happy, healthy, and strong. Sometimes I forget, lost in the confusions and worries of daily life. I forget that my body is your body, and sometimes even forget that I have a body at all. Unaware of the presence of my body and the beautiful planet around me and within me, I'm unable to cherish and celebrate the precious gift of life you have given me. Dear Mother, my deep wish is to wake up to the miracle of life. I promise to train myself to be present for myself, my life, and for you in every moment. I know that my true presence is the best gift I can offer to you, the one I love. And now for our candle lighting prayer. I'm going to read or Dorley, did you have one? I'm not sure. You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hand it over to Dorley.
This is a prayer by the Venerable Master Sing Yun, a prayer upon arising in the morning. O great compassionate Buddha, today is a new beginning, and it is said that the morning hours are the best time of day. On such a fine morning, I recall past experiences. I have failed, but have never been disappointed. I have been sad, but have already been able to open my mind peacefully. I have been wronged, but have understood that everything in this world arises and extinguishes according to the law of dependent origination. I have shed tears, but have deeply believed that tomorrow will be better. Today, under the blessing and protection of your compassionate Buddha light, I pray to you to grant me the courage to face all the challenges on this day. I pray to you to grant me the patience to accept all setbacks on this day. I pray to you to grant me the strength to carry out all work on this day. I pray to you to grant me the wisdom to be grateful for all causes and conditions on this day. O great compassionate Buddha, please help me increase my wisdom. Please help me open my mind. May I be able to appreciate the wonders of sky and earth. May I be able to be grateful for the warmth of the world. May I be able to obtain the assistance of friends. May I be able to realize the value of Dharma. O great compassionate Buddha, I recognize the presence of your image in my mind. I realize that I came to the human world to be happy. I understand that I have entered into society to contribute. I know that I am cultivating the way to enlightenment to benefit all. I vow from this moment on to benefit all sentient beings and awaken myself and others every day. I vow from today on to bring good fortune and benefit to the nation and the people and to liberate self and others every moment. O great compassionate Buddha, please accept my sincerest morning prayer. O great compassionate Buddha, please accept my sincerest morning prayer.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Dorley. And now feel free to unmute yourselves and offer each other a sign of peace. So peace, everybody.
Peace with you all, my friends. Alawa pa.
Alawa pa. Alawa pa. Everyone.
Peace, everyone.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with
Peace
you.
and love.
Beautiful. And now we'll join together for another song.
Om
It's beautiful. Thank you, Bruce and Cheryl. Reminds me of being in Nepal or other places where people are chanting this constantly. It's very lovely. So I'm going to invite you now to join me in our joint affirmation. Can you see that okay? I have a new computer and yeah, okay. We come together in peace. We sing together in joy and with love. We worship together in one house, a house with names beyond number. Our paths are many, our beliefs are as leaves, and the tree that we cleave to is nourished by the light of compassion, justice, and mutual respect. May our lives, our beliefs, and our actions help to bring about the world of love we all seek, and let it begin here. So now's when we take some time to meditate and pray together. So I'm going to invite you to, wherever you're seated, just put your feet on the ground, sit in a way that's comfortable for you, roll your shoulders back a couple of times. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If not, you can also find a spot on the floor to look at or a spot in the distance. And take a deep breath in and release it slowly. We so often forget to breathe in the midst of life's busyness. Another deep breath in and release it slowly. And a third deep breath in and release it slowly. And now I invite you just to remember that in the midst of this, the chaos that we so often experience in the world, the conflicts and the suffering and the grief that so many are struggling with, we have the earth under our feet supporting us. We have the chair beneath us holding us. We have the air around us offering us oxygen and breath and life. We have the trees around us providing us with the air we breathe, the rivers flowing down the mountains and nourishing us with water. We have the animal companions that run in havoc through our homes and visit us outdoors on occasion. And all of this is part of us. All of this is part of who we are. And just remember that we're one part of this great, beautiful planet and this big, beautiful cosmos. And that we're here at home and we belong here. So from this place of rootedness and groundedness, I invite you to pray in silence for whatever's on your heart this morning. May it be so. Now we'll come together for another song.
Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham saranam Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
So now is the moment when we share our wealth. As many of you know, we rely on donations to keep running. We've just hired a wonderful new managing director named Kaya Younger, who I believe you got to meet last service. So our money goes to support her, our musicians, Bruce and Cheryl, and to pay our speakers and basically keep us up and running. So any amount is always appreciated. And I know many of you already donate, so thank you deeply. And now Bruce and Cheryl have another song for us.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
So now it's my joy and honor to welcome, in a virtual sense, Ernest Ng. Ernest unfortunately can't be with us in person today, but I met him at his temple and we pre-recorded this talk. Ernest is the Chief Executive Officer of Tung Yuen Canada Society, a Buddhist charity dedicated to offering Buddhist teachings, education, and community services to the community for over 30 years. He serves as the Buddhist Chaplain at UBC, UMAC, and SFU Multifaith Center, and is an ordained lay minister under the auspices of the Upaya Zen Center and Institute. He is a certified spiritual care practitioner and provisional supervisor-educator Dorley and I know how much work it takes to become that. He led volunteers to offer denominational support to care seekers in various healthcare sites in Greater Vancouver. And I just want to put in a personal note that Ernest is such a wonderful support for those of us who work in the hospital. I've called on him several times to support patients at the end of life, and he always makes himself available. So I will share the screen and Ernest's talk today on Vesak, and just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can see it okay and hear it okay.
Hello, everyone. It's good to meet you all. My name is Ernest. Thank you, Rachel, for the invitation to share about Vesak Day. Vesak Day, or maybe sometime like we celebrate the whole Vesak month, is the Buddhist tradition where we celebrate the birth of our respected Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. It is a tradition observed by all Buddhist tradition, like may it be the Southeast Asian Theravada tradition, the Tibetan tradition, or like the Mahayana traditions in the China, like Japan and Korea, and also everywhere in the world as well. But depending on the tradition, we may celebrate it a little bit differently on a different day of the month. Like for example, I know some of our Japanese friends, they actually celebrate the Vesak month earlier. It's actually in April, like they celebrate the Buddha birthday. And then for some other tradition, they would celebrate later, like in a month. So yeah, there's kind of a range of difference. For us, for the Chinese Buddhism, like we're celebrating it on the early May, like we're observing the lunar calendar. So that's why we're hosting like big events, like assemblies, and also like some public events as well. In the Vesak Day, one of the very interesting tradition that we also observe is like bathing the Buddha. So like many of you may wonder like why we are bathing the Buddha, particularly is like a kind of a baby, we say like the baby or like the young prince versions of the Buddha when we are celebrating the Vesak Day. There's a story has it like when the Buddha was born, upon his birth, like there were 9 dragons like pouring like fragrant water to bathe the infant prince body, and then like he took 7 steps. Like imagine, of course, like these are all magical and legendary, but like even when he was like after his birth, then he like the 9 dragon come in, bathe him, and then he took like 7 steps, and then like with one hand pointing down to the skies, pointing upward to the sky, and then the other hand like toward the earth, and then he said, like in heavens and on the earth, like only I am singularly supreme. Like you can imagine, like it was like a baby, but the reason why he was saying that, yeah, like I am singularly like supreme, he was actually referring to like the teachings, like the wisdom that he eventually would manifest, and also the legends, of course, is also kind of highlight the significance, like the birth, the arrival of someone who have achieved such enlightenment, such high level of awakening, understanding the realities of the world. Allow me to share a little bit more about like the context of the Buddha. The word Buddha from a Buddhist tradition is not only referring to the Shakyamuni Buddha, even though the Vesak Day is celebrating his birth, but also a title or maybe a certain level of reference designated to one who has woken up. So in that sense, like you and maybe hopefully I will eventually like have that path and possibility to become a Buddha. It actually refers to an extremely rare and extraordinary sentient beings and maybe beings that have awakened to the knowledge of the world as it truly is, and in so doing find release like from the suffering. The Buddha even this specific one we refer to, Shakyamuni Buddha, he is like a real person, but we recognize him as an extraordinary one. He's not a savior, like in a different sense, but he's a teacher. Sapa has frequently appeared in the Asian Pali texts. I refer to teacher, realizing like the true nature of suffering is that he teach out of compassion and sympathy, like the path of cessations of suffering, like for the benefit and the welfare of all living beings. Like with his teaching, the Buddha set in motion like the wheel of the Dharma. Dharma refer to the teaching, and established a community of disciples, like we call it the Sangha. Despite his profound wisdom in discovering and delivering the path to enlightenment for others, the Buddha from the Buddhist tradition is not like a god, like as some other tradition recognize it. He is more like maybe like a very, very achieved spiritual being who has obtained or arrived at enlightenment in his lifetime as a human. A living example of how ordinary human beings with many, many lifetimes of practice and awareness could eventually achieve the extraordinary through many lifetimes of practice of compassion and wisdom. He is therefore respected and honored for his achievements and teachings. Like if we're tracing back the historical evidence of the Buddha, it's actually not an easy task. I share the legend, like when he was born, like the night dragon come in and bathe him, and that's why we have the bathing the Buddha tradition on the Vesak day. But there you can imagine, like back then there were no biographies or written document from his time. The earliest like remark that we have, like when it was like when he taught drawing from his experience, and then that teachings like passed on verbally from generations to generations until it's being recorded in a written form. So later Buddhist sources usually focus on his quest toward enlightenment in relations to his teachings, like highlighting the Buddhist doctrine. Like these remarks were verbal transmission until they were written down. And then the earliest sources on the Buddhist life story are the Pali canonic discourses of the Buddha, the suttas and the texts like on monastic discipline, which we call the Vinaya. Initially, Buddhist philosophies were developed alongside with like other Indian religions. There are a lot of like adaptations, a lot of reinterpretations of some of the concepts and practices, so that there are like, I think wherever the practice, the Buddhist teaching connect with, there is a lot of kind of integration and interactions with different kind of mystical or mythical like accounts, kind of identify or integrate with the local culture. So like if you kind of want to listen to story of like what's going on when he was born, like there are many kind of different story. And then we talk about like how he took the steps and then confirmed that like this would be his final birth, like meaning that there is no future rebirth. And the Buddha comes to the world when it is ready enough, like for their presence, achieve enlightenment, and then teach, and then enter into the final liberation. So the historical Buddha, now we are celebrating his birthday. He historically lived in the Kapia Vatu on what is currently known as the Indian and Nepalese border. He was born as Siddhartha Gautama of the clan of Shaka, and then the earliest Buddhist source dated his birth like the 4th or the 3rd BC. Additionally mentioned that he was a son of a local chieftain. And then later Buddhist account may tend to exaggerate like how wealthy he is, or making him like to be like a royal prince as opposed to a member of an important aristocratic family. But nonetheless, like he lived for sure like a very comfortable, luxurious life, and from birth like he has been prophesied like to be either a great wheel turning, meaning he would turn the Dharma king, wheel turning king, or like a Buddha, Like real turning king is like some kings like who is benevolent and wise, which will make a lot of benefits like and support the society and the community and the kingdom. His father tried his best to make sure that like Siddhartha, the Buddha, was sheltered from all the difficulties, like all the sufferings, like from the world, like because otherwise he know like he will become the Buddha. But one day, like leaving the palace, like, he encountered like a withered old man, a sick man, a corpse being carried into the funeral. Like, he realized that his life is also subject to suffering, in the form of sickness, old age, and death, like all of us, anyway. And mundane pleasures, he realized like a lot solid or maybe not even worthy. So upon spotting a peaceful, wandering ascetic who illustrated the possibilities of practice and training, like he decided to leave home and follow the footsteps of all the noble practitioners. And then that's why he embarked on his journey. The renouncer traditions like back then was actually very, very popular. Of course, for many of them, they undertook austerities, like so that you can see like one of the image of the Buddha was like really, really like thin, because like he was like practicing fasting, trying to build up that like perseverance in his body and purify his soul. And then the wanderer or the renouncer, they are not engaging in worldly work or career, so that they depends on alms to sustain their living. The Buddha, the Siddhartha, like he studied under various teachers of his time, and then it was kind of recorded that he was like taking all these extreme practice, almost like to the extent that he finally felt like his body is too weak to properly meditate and could not possibly like be able to achieve enlightenment. So that's why he realized like one day like he collect like all his meditative experience he has, and then I realized, oh, when he was a child, he has that like wonderful experience of meditation. Like why, like now when I'm pushing so much hardship in my body and then it doesn't really work. So that he realized, oh, okay, there need to be a balance. And then he received food again, and then he finally achieved awakening. So the contrast between his luxurious palace life and then the ascetic like life further emphasize like the Buddhist kind of idea of the middle way, like not taking to the extreme, but like transcending above the duality. So the kind of the record or the story has like he finally gained enlightenment while meditating under the a Bodhi tree, like near the north states of Bihar. Like, and the sutta mentioned that like once the Buddha has conceptualized his path to enlightenment, like he dropped like his bowl to the river and asked like if it travel against the current, like if the boat travel against the current, then he is right. Like he was really achieving the enlightenment, and miraculously the boat swam like upstream. So he kind of being confirmed that his awakening like is the realizations of the truth, and then he later on share his teaching as the Dharma, like the Four Noble Truth of suffering, its origination, its causes, and then the path leading to the cessation of suffering. So the Buddha spent the rest of his life teaching the way to the cessation of suffering. So for many, the Buddhist approach is a bit different from other traditions, because like we actually face the suffering like directly, like in a sense that like we recognize, oh yeah, there are impermanence in the world. Our notion of suffering, apart from like pain, physical or mental suffering, but also is that struggle, that wrestling between the realities like of how things really operate and our understanding or our desire or our wish, like it could be operate differently. So the teachings of the Buddha, or maybe like what we are celebrating, like the wisdoms of the Buddha, is like, oh, okay, like thank you. Like with your arrival and your teaching, we realize, okay, this is like how we could connect like with the reality in the world, how we could practice, how we can be together, so that we can alleviate the suffering side of ourselves and also of others. So that's why we're celebrating the Vesak Day. Of course, like, there are a lot more other activities that are a lot more fun that integrated with the local culture. But I think it is like in the spirit of compassion, of wisdoms, so that like we want to kind of honor and pay our respects to, yeah, like someone who share all these like wonderful gifts with us. Yeah. So maybe that's a kind of a quick version of Vesak. Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to ask Ernest a few questions after, and so if anyone wants to stay after the service and view those, you're welcome to do that as well. But I will turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for another song, and then we'll have a closing prayer.
Sa
That's beautiful. I love the repetitive nature of those mantras. So lovely. Now, please join me for a closing prayer. As we leave this morning, having come together to celebrate Vesak Day, let us remember the wisdom and the compassion of the Buddha, the willingness to look suffering in the face, to face the pain while remaining rooted to the earth. Give us the strength and the wisdom to encounter all that life has to provide us. And let us remember to remain connected in our hearts to each other, to all beings, and work together to relieve the suffering of all. May it be so.